Now, good morning once again. Let me welcome you to today's class, where we are going to be doing, we start by doing quantitative analysis. And I think you can be, you are able to see my board, not my board, but my screen. Now, when we look on the qualitative inventory system, we are saying they are inventory systems which are not based on the number of the purchased, but they are not based on the number of the units purchased, but other factors. When you look on the other factors, we want to determine on a minute. Thank you. So the qualitative factors, they normally include ABC analysis, and then we normally have GIT system, just in time. I just want to take you back to management accounting aspect, where what we normally discuss throughout from topic 1 to the last one is about production. But you have never looked at it and ask yourself, why do we fail to discuss about the issues of the employees? The employees are basically discussed later on in the labor remuneration only, but the welfare of those employees is not well captured in management accounting. Is one of the challenges or one of the key things that once you want to check on the disadvantages of management accounting, and you don't have some, you can be able to put that as a disadvantage. It is normally looked so much in production, but fails to recognize the welfare of employees. Now, let's look on ABC analysis, and we are saying it is a system of inventory management in which the items are grouped in 3 categories, namely, a good example, by the way, for ABC analysis is supermarkets. When you go to a supermarket, you'll find that goods are normally grouped in different categories. Kuna area unaenda, you find that there are goods which even they don't have much, they don't need much control, since they are not exposed to theft. So when you look, for example, in the classification of ABC analysis, the first thing that we have to be looking is class A items. This ABC is different from the activity-based costing. I just want you to understand clearly, it is different. So the class A items, we say it is a group of items which are very expensive but few number. Special attention is normally given to this group of items, e.g. stock taking is done regularly. And when you look on when you go to a supermarket and you find, we have some areas where they are selling perfumes, right? There is other areas which they are able to sell rice. We are saying they are a bit expensive. And much controls are normally put in those areas. You normally see the supermarkets having cameras, but also they have some individuals who are walking around, monitoring the movement of the customers. When you look on class B items, you're saying it is a group of items which could be more in quantity compared to class A items, but not vulnerable to theft compared to class A items. Normal controls are expected to monitor their movement. When you go up there to, for example, second floor, you will find that the supermarket selling things like mattresses, blankets. We have things like beds, TV sets, and so on. But those areas you find only one person. By bicycles, you cannot be able to go and thief those kind of things. So in this scenario, that is why we are saying no more controls. We might be having only one person who is going to be responding on the questions of the customers and taking the whole floor, right? Being capable for controlling the whole floor, since the items in that class are not much exposed to theft. When you look on class C items, you're saying it is a group of items which is normally the largest in quantity of all the other groups and cannot easily be misappropriated. Much attention is not expected in this class. I'm not expecting someone to go and take a flower, anaiba, utapeleka utaeka wapi. So that is why we are finding that on that side, that hakunanga mtu. Hakuna mtu, huwezi iba sukari kilo 4 ama kilo 5, you cannot be able to do that. So that is a class C items. And that is where I was giving out an example of supermarket. There might be other categories or other examples in which you can be able to put in record to make sure you understand it better. Let us go to GIT system, and we are saying it is just a method of inventory management in which organization order inventory when the need arises. And in this system, the stocks are normally purchased so that they are delivered when they are needed for consumption. So this is normally meant to reduce the stock holding cost, and we are saying the policy is only applicable where the customers are willing to wait for the goods to be delivered. I will be able to give you only 2 examples here. We normally have Global, we normally have Who, we normally have someone like Jumia. When you order goods through Jumia, they are not going to be delivered today. So what are some of the characteristics of GIT before I explain it much? We are saying it is a move towards zero inventory. When you look on the Jumia, they don't have stocks. They don't have stores for those stocks. The purpose of Jumia is to link the customers with the suppliers, and the only thing that they normally get is by getting some commissions, because already they don't have to be purchasing. They want to reduce they just want to reduce the wastage and so on within their organization. So that is why we normally discuss about the zero inventory. They don't have inventories. So that is why we are saying organization will not be holding large stocks of material. When you look on number 2, we are saying that it is a move towards zero defect system. Organization tries to eliminate substandard output and hence improve the quality of the products. Number 3, it is a demand pull system. When we say organizations can only order for the resources when the need arises. It has a 100% delivery schedule, and it emphasizes on the elimination and value-added activities. It is a short setup time. It has a short setup time, and that is where we are saying when the items supplied to customer do not meet the specification, then reworking is done within the shortest time possible. And also, when we look on this system, the GIT, for it to work, that is where we are saying the customer should be patient for the goods to be delivered. For this instance, that is where I was giving 2 examples, because once you order goods, they might not become immediately the moment you have ordered them, and they might be taking some time. If for it to work within your organization, then make sure your customers are willing to wait for the goods to be delivered. There is a question of GIT, which I have already shared in our WhatsApp group. They have not been testing it for some time now. So the question is not part of the link that I have already shared for questions. And this question was tested in May 2014. May 2014 for GIT. And Mary, you can be able to read for us. May 2014, question 4B. May 2014, question 4B. May 2014. Someone to read, please. Nobody? Someone? Watu wamelala. Mule, can you read? Now, Makinika Limited manufactures a single product branded Z, for the financial year commencing 3rd July 2014. So the sales demand and the selling price for Z are expected to be as follows. So we are being given the data there. We are being given 4 quarters. We have quarter 1 to 4. We have sales demand, and then we have the unit selling prices there. Additional information, we are being told the product Z is produced at a constant rate of 45,000 units per quarter. And we need to be understanding that since we are saying that the product will be produced in a constant. For instance, kama Grace amekuja kwa organization na order 2 units, the company can only be able to produce 45,000. Number 2, during the year we are being told the excess production units are held in inventory at a cost of 6 shillings per unit per quarter based on the average inventory. And number 3, we are being told no inventory of product Z is expected to be held on funds. That is what it means. We don't have the opening stock at that time. So we have been told number 4, the production cost per unit of the product Z are expected to be as follows. We are given material, labor, variable overheads, and fixed overheads. Now, when you look on number 5, we are being told there that the management is proposing to change the current system of production to the GIT system. If the GIT system is adopted and production level exceeds 45,000 per quarter, the excess units will be produced over time, right? In this case, we've been told this would mean that the unit direct labor and variable overhead cost of any units above 45,000 per quarter would increase by 50%. When you're carrying out your analysis, some students might be taking 150%. No, we want to look on the increased proportion. How much can we pay in excess? That is what we have to be checking there. Number 7, we are being told no other cost would be affected by working overtime required. And we are being told to advise the management whether the just-in-time system of production should be adopted. So what should I do here? We are going to be doing 2 things here. We are going to be working on by looking on the total cost of the current system, right, which they are using. Then we compare it with the total cost of the GIT. And then because we are dealing with the cost, the one that minimizes, the one which has the minimum cost is the one that you are going to be proposing to the management of the Z. And now let's shift our gears and go to our board. We look on how we have to be working on this. Calculators should be on your side, right? Let's shift and we go to our board there. I hope you will be able to see everything clearly. Good. So in this case, we are discussing on this matter because already we are analyzing a very simple question. When you look on it, when you look on this kind of a question, we have said the first step that you have to be working on, look on the current system. We look on the current system which this organization is using, right? We compare it with the GIT. Now, when I look on this current system, my questions should be very clearly, what are we supposed to be doing? And I will be able to tell you that just factor, the first thing that you have to be putting in place is by analyzing the total cost under the current system. So we have four quarters. We have quarter 1, we have quarter 2, we have quarter 3, and then we have quarter 4 as given by that examiner, right? It looks like that. So already we are being told by this examiner that we don't have the opening stock on the first quarter, so we don't have there. Factor your production. We are doing this because we want to generate our closing stock. So what are the units, the production units? We are being given there. We are being given 45,000 throughout because we are being told the production will be done for 45,000 under the additional information number 1. So I put in every quarter we normally produce 45,000. 45,000. Senior, to determine your closing stock, come here and you take your sales. Sales tumepewa pale na examiner. Ametupea the first quarter, aliuza that 3,000. Right? Quarter 2, akauza 48,000. Quarter 3 akauza 51,000. And then quarter 4 aliuza 48. Remember, we are subtracting our sales because we want to determine the closing stock. Right? So let us get our closing stock here. Because the reason is why we are calculating the closing stock, because there is additional information where we are being told during the year, the excess production units are held in inventory at a cost of 6 shillings per unit per quarter based on the average inventory. So if we want to calculate the average inventory, we have to be taking the opening plus the closing divided by 2, we get the average for every quarter. Now, the first one, when we talk about the production and the sales, we are going to be getting our closing stock. You produce 45, you sold at 3. What is the balance here? We say our closing stock here is 12,000. The closing stock in the first quarter becomes the opening in the second quarter, right? The closing of the first quarter becomes the opening of the second quarter. So in this case, we are taking 12,000 plus 45,000, which is our current production capacity, minus 48,000, getting 9,000, right? Getting 9,000 here. Then from there, this comes to the third quarter here. So we have 9,000 plus 45,000 minus 51 and 51,000, getting 3,000 here. And then we go to the 3,000, and then here is 0. That one is 0. So what are we supposed to do? Calculate your average inventory, right? Calculate your average inventory. Take your opening plus the closing, you get 12,000. Divide by 2, get 6,000 here in the first quarter. When you go to the second quarter, we take 12,000 plus 9,000, you divide by 2, that is 21,000. You divide by 2, get it 10,500, right? When you go to the third one, 9,000 plus 3, you get 12. Divide by 2, you get 6. And then here we take 3,000 plus 0, divide by 2, getting 1,500. Now, from there, let us multiply this with what? This one we multiply by the holding cost per unit. You're being given at 6 shillings. Holding cost per unit of ours is 6 shillings. 6 shillings. So the first one will be how much? It will be 36,000. The second one will be how much? 10,500 times 6, getting 63,000. Now, how much it is? That's 6,000. Right? What about the last one? The last one should be 9,000. 9,000. Now, let us see our total cost now for the whole year. The total costs. The total cost of ours should be how much? Kenya shillings. So you just do your summation, 63,000 plus 72,000, right? Plus 9,000. Getting 144,000. 144,000. That is the current holding cost we are incurring right now. I want now to shift to just-in-time system. Just-in-time system here. The first thing that we just want to look on the just-in-time is the number of the units which need to be produced over time. Now, what am I going to be comparing? Remember here, you have 4 quarters. We have quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then look on your production. Our production now for the first quarter, right? Not the production, let's start with sales, sorry. Let us start with sales. So our sales will be 33,000 here, right? 48,000. Now we have 51,000. Then the fourth one is 48,000. When I look on these units, remember my production capacity here. Production of mine, kila quarter na produce 45,000. 45,000. 45,000. 45,000. So after that, analyze the number of units we should be produced over time, right? Over time here. And when I want to look on the overtime, naangalia sales zangu. My sales here is 33,000. My capacity production is 45,000, right? Hapa sitaki kufanya overtime. I'm producing more than enough. The first quarter, there is no any overtime. When I look on quarter 2, you have the sales of 48, but we want to produce 45,000. We need 3,000 to be worked overtime. When you go to the third one, we have 51,000. Here is 45,000. The difference should be how much? 6,000 to be produced overtime. And also, when you compare the fourth one, 48, 45, you are generating also 3,000. What are the implications of working overtime? We have been told there by the examiner. Examiner is saying that in note number 5, note number 6, sorry, we have been told if the GAT system is just adopted and production level exceeds 45,000 units per quarter, the excess units would have to be produced by working overtime. This would mean that the unit direct labor and the variable overhead costs of any units above 45 per quarter would increase by 50%. So what is going to be affected? We have been told is labor, right? Our labor and overheads. Let us look on the differences because we are dealing with 3 quarters. Let me start with quarter 2. Quarter 2. Let me start with quarter 2. Quarter 2 now. We are being told labor and overhead, the costs have to be increased by 50%. So let us work on the excess amount, 50%, 50%, right? You multiply by the labor cost per unit in note number 4. We have been given that information. So here I can see for labor and overheads, examiner has given us, right? We have been given how much? Labor is 36, variable overhead is 12. So here we multiply by 36. Here we multiply by 12. 36 or 50, we normally get 18, right? Right. And also this one is 6. The total is 24. The excess amount is 24. So take 24, you multiply by the number of units to be produced over time. 24, you multiply by your units to be produced over time. So I just multiply here by 3,000. How much am I supposed to be getting here? 72,000. 72,000 there. Right? Let us go also to quarter 3 and you do the same. So here we are talking about labor and then we have overheads. Now for labor, we have been told 50% will be the increase. You multiply by, nikiangalia pale kwa number 4, the labor for third quarter is 36.14. 36 and 14. Here it is 18, here it is 7. Comes to 25. Multiplied by the number of units which we need to be producing over time, 6,000. 6,000 there. So 25 times 6,000. 25 times 6,000. Getting 150,000. 150. Then the last one will be quarter 4. Quarter 4. And in quarter 4 also we have to be looking on our labor and also overheads. 50% of the total of the cost per unit, right? So 50% in quarter 4, we have been given also that 614. That's 614 now. So here we said it is 1887 total 25 times 3,000. So how much am I getting there? 25, 75, 75,000. So if we want to know the total cost in this case, now we can add 72,000 plus 150,000 plus 75,000. So how much is this? You're going to make the decision. So 150 plus 72 plus 75. Getting to 97,000. You get to 97,000. To 97,000. The question is that what can I be able to advise this organization? What should I be able to advise? So the advice that I need you to get is by comparing between the two costs. Between 297, right, and 144,000. Do the comparison, take your lower. Take your lower. So the lower is the current system of inventory which we are using today. And we can be able to say the company should maintain the current system of production, right? So as to minimize the costs. The company should maintain the company should maintain the current system of inventory management so as to minimize the total cost. That is how you normally work out with the respective GIT questions. So when you see the GIT questions, that is what you're supposed to be doing at the end of the day. So nothing else that is going to be changing. If the examiner is going to be bringing the question in the current sitting of April, then that is how you're supposed to be handling it. Any question? Any question? Any questions so far? Are you okay, Mary?
Yes.
Very good, very good, very good. So let us continue with our labor remuneration, because that is the thing that I just wanted to teach today, labor remuneration. And I will not be able to go throughout the notes, which I can see I shared with you in our WhatsApp group, but I just be able to pass through it a bit, because we are being told that everybody understands the concept of labor. And that is why I see today majority of you are working hard to complete the CPA so that they can be able to get better jobs. The better jobs, we normally look for better pay. Better jobs, better pay, right? Now, in this scenario, we basically want to, or there are certain fields in which we are focusing our attention. And most probably, I normally talk of our field, which is accounts, and it's normally broadly classified, or it normally have a lot of branches. Someone might be payables, mwingine, and as a core receivables. We might be having cost controller. We might be having credit controllers. It depends on your interests. And most probably at the end of the day, what we have to be checking on here, we have to be looking on how much am I going to be compensated for the work which I'm going to be doing. So it is normally paid as a compensation of the hours which you're going to be working on. When I look on most organizations, they have a machine which they use to log in and also to log out in the evening. It normally assists the human resource people to be able to identify how many hours are you working in a day. Now, in this case, it includes all the monetary compensation for the employees. And what we have to be checking on here mostly, it is the wages, the commission, the overtime and bonuses. I look at the purpose that why organization has to impose paying overtime and also paying commissions, right? Commissions. This basically, it is a way of motivating the employees. How are we going to be motivated? We are normally motivated by money, by the way, not the good working environments. Every person is normally motivated by money, right? Because it normally starts with the accountants who normally say, why should I be why should I be looking for more money to this organization? Whereas the same organization is paying us peanuts, right? And then corruption starts with us. So wacha mimi niendelee kuwafunza venye mnapaswa kuiba. Now, this labor is classified into two. We have the direct labor, we have indirect labor, right? The direct labor, these are the people who are directly involved in the production process. And these people are the people wenye wako kwa production, right? Wale wako pale, we have the production managers. We have some employees who are directly involved in production process, among other things. We are saying they are the ones who produce the output to the organization. Now, their payment is directly linked to the number of the hours worked, and their earnings should be the remuneration or should be compensation of the number of the hours taken and the rate per hour. So what about the indirect labor? Mimi nikienda kwa most organizations, napatananga na sonja kwa data na kuuliza, unaenda wapi? Reception. When you reach the reception, you'll also find other ladies there or gentlemen, and they will be able to ask you, how can I assist you? And from that point, you'll be able to say, I just want to see an accountant of the organization. And they will be able to communicate with the accountant and give a leeway into towards that inquiry. Now, from there, we are saying they are not included in the production cost statement. They are normally referred to as production overheads. And when you look on the production overheads, regardless of we are going to be tackling it there in our next topics, we are looking on the indirect expenses which organizations normally incur in the to make sure that the services provided are efficient. So that is where we are looking on the examples provided there. I have given the factory security as the direct labor costs, the factory manager salary, we have supervisor salary, among others. Now, the characteristics of satisfactory labor remuneration system, you'll be able to pass through them. They are there for you. But what normally causes the labor turnover within the organizations? Sometimes I myself, I might be feeling demotivated. And the aspect of being demotivated, number one, it is the avoidable causes. Number two, we normally talk unavoidable causes. So the causes of labor turnover within the organization will be causing machine breakdown. We normally talk about the material wastage. We normally have poor production processes undertaken by the employees, since they feel they can be able to, they are just within the organization looking for greener pastures. And that is the worst things in the worst case scenario, since the employees will want to quit the organization, and therefore they have to be looking on the necessary reasons as to why they are supposed to be leaving. Now, avoidable causes, we are saying these are the causes which an organization can prevent. They are within the control of the organization to either eliminate or reduce them. And it normally look like, number one, we discuss about gender discrimination, lack of job security, poor remuneration, lack of promotion opportunities, trade union problems, lack of incentives, poor working conditions. But what about the unavoidable causes? These are the things that you cannot be able to avoid. Number one, there is no one who can prevent you from retirement. Nobody can tell you not to, the issues of death, sorry. We normally talk about insanity or incapacitation. We have organizational change in structure technology, resignation, right? We have personal dislike of the job. There are people who, when you look on these jobs we are doing, I'm not interested in it, on it. I came to the organization as an accountant, and then you gave me a job of gateman. You see, I dislike that job, I will leave. Then we have discharge of disciplinary grounds. Then we have pregnancy. What are the effects of labor turnover? We are looking on a certain amount of labor turnover must take place. And that is where we are saying, to some extent, it must be welcomed. This is because it creates room for internal promotion, which will maintain motivation high for young employees who are ambitious. So the employee in an organization join after the old ones have left, bring new ideas in an organization, which can help in production, right? Which can help in production, which can help in productivity, sorry. However, where there is a high labor turnover, it has other consequences. The following causes are associated. Number one, we talk about the preventive costs, and they are the costs incurred to keep the workforce happy. Now, in certain organizations, when I pick your breakfast, the organization will be able to look on those things, 1 hour here to make you happy. They are going also to be giving you, for instance, Christmas gifts. Those are the packages in which they are going to be providing, awarding the best employees, among other things. Number two, the cost of welfare activities, for example, the transport organization providing transport for the employees. Number three, we have the pension scheme to provide security after employment. Now we have number four, extra bonus and incentives given to employees. Then number five, we are talking about the cost of medical cover be done by the organization. Now, what about the replacement cost, which we have to be incurring? When we are discussing about the replacement cost, we have to be looking on when someone is leaving the organization, there are certain costs that you have to incur, right? One, going to the companies which normally recruit and do recruitment for an employee, right? And in this scenario, we are looking on things that already have been happening. Number one, the cost of training the new employees. The cost of training the new employees is one of the key things. The cost of training the new employees, right? We have to be encouraged to make sure that the employees are able to understand us, right? They will be able to understand us. There is certain areas where we are going to be doing our, if you will be able to do advanced management accounting, you'll be coming up with a subtopic called learning curve theory, right? A learning curve theory is a process of ensuring that we learn, right? But the learning will be able to see that at a certain period. So there is a way in which organization is able to train the employees on how to on how they are supposed they're supposed to be training the employees on how to produce the product within the organization. Now, in this case, we are looking on the concept whereby during that time you are training, we have to know very well that the training process, the organization has to be incurring the cost to ensure you learn. So how is this being done? There are some wastages that you are going to be doing because you are a new employee. We are not going to be punishing you. But at a certain period, right, at a certain stage, we say the learning will cease after 3 months or 2 months or whichever the period, right? So in those scenarios, basically assist you to learn the trends of the organization and be able to know how can they produce their products. Now we have the recruitment and selection costs, or we are going to be looking for recruiters to be within the organization so that we can be able to get the right person. Number 3, we have the loss of output due to the gap between the time of leaving and the time of replacement. The loss is due to the negligence of the new employees. And then we have the loss is due to the accident by the new employees. I just want to do the 2 questions quickly there, and I give you assignment before we engage on the group bonus schemes. So let me first do the questions in that field, and then we shall shift our attention to group bonus schemes. Now, there is a question which I just want to share with you. I just want to start mahali mbali sana. I will be able to start from very far, coming all the way to this side of 2022. A minute, please. There is this question which was tested on May 2014, question 2B. We shall be able to do also the other questions, but I just wanted to start with this one because the labor remuneration questions might be set differently. So the Jumbo Limited operates an incentive scheme where bonus hours are credited to the employees at the rate of 10% of the time saved. During the first week of the month of May 2014, the following data was recorded in relation to Mary Masumbi, a casual employee of Jumbo Limited. So we are being given the work issued in units. We are given 740, right? Work spoiled, we are being given 20. Time allowed per unit is 5. Hours worked, 50. Additional information we are being told, bonus computation are based on the accepted output. You're not supposed to compare a lot of information there. That it means that all the units which were spoiled are not going to be paid. The normal working hours in a week are 45 hours. But we are being told here, overtime is paid at 1.5 times the normal hourly rate. The basic rate of pay is 50 shillings per hour required, showing clearly the amounts of hand for bonus and overtime. Compute the total pay for Mary Masumbi. The total pay for Mary Masumbi. This question I've already shared in your WhatsApp group. So let me go back to my board here. Let me go back to my board. So the question here, and the one that we are looking right now, right? It is a question of 2014, and I have said that that question is not tough. Right, the question is not that tough. We'll be able to work on it very quickly. So, because I know everyone can be able to access the question, so let me go just back to my boards. Let me go back to my board here. Now, thank you. Now, when I look at it, the question which I'm working on here, I have to be analyzing my cases in hours. Sorry for delay. So we have to be looking on the hours allowed. Hours allowed, hours taken. You have to look on the hours saved. This is the analysis that you have to do. Then we have to look on the overtime. We have to look on overtime. We are discussing about Mary. Mary here. Tumeambiwa Mary hata lipo zile units zilikuwa spoiled. So what are we supposed to be doing? Alipewa kazi ya produce 740. Akaharibu 20. So yeye ako na 720 units. Ukiangalia swali yako, you are supposed to be analyzing in hours, but the examiner ni mjanja sana. Yeye anakuambianga, it normally gives you minutes. So what am I supposed to be doing? Change your minutes to hours, right? We have been told to produce 1 unit. I require 5 minutes, right? But this is not how to convert that to hours to calculate the total hours of produce 720. So it means here, allow me to multiply by 5 over 60. 5 over 60. This means I have converted my minutes to hours. Because 1 hour 60 minutes, what about 5 minutes? So that is what we are looking there. So it will be 5 divided by 60, right? Then we multiply by 720, getting 6 hours. Upon 60. What about the hours taken? The hours taken, we have been told huyu mtu alitake how many hours? Tunaambiwa yeye anafanya kazi haraka sana. He did this for only 50. Right? What about the hours saved? I'll save how many hours? Unachukua 60, which is the time allowed, minus 50. Unapata hapa 10. Right? Unapata 10. Because already, alikuwa amepewa 60 hours, lakini yeye akafanya kazi kwa bidii sana. Akatumia only 50, akasave 10 minutes. 10 hours, sorry. What about the overtime? Kufanya overtime hapo naambiwa vitu rahisi. In note number 2 naambiwa, the normal working hours in a week are 45, right? Are 45 hours. 45 hours. But yeye alifanya 50. So hapa inamaanisha nachukua 50 minus 45. Unapata jamaa alifanya overtime ya only 5 hours. 5 hours. So tumeambiwa calculate total pay. Wewe unaanza tu hapa na basic pay. Tuanze na basic. Basic pay. Tunasema Mary Masumbi akiwa na overtime ana bonus, anapaswa kulipwa pesa ngapi? Tunaona rate yake per hour tumepewa 50 na anapaswa kufanya 45 hours times 50 in a week. So hii ni pesa ngapi times 50? Getting Kenya shillings 2250. Tutoke hapo tuende kwa bonus. Na bonus unakuanga umepewa additional information there. Nimeambiwa vizuri, the bonus computation are based on the expected output. Tushakubali hiyo, right? But pale juu kabisa umeambiwa already, Jumbo Limited operates an incentive scheme where the bonus hours are credited to the employees at the rate of 20% of the time saved. So in this case, it means if I'm calculating the bonus that you take, 20% you multiply by the normal rate, which is 50. Normal rate yake analipwa 50 times the time saved. Alisave how many hours? Tunasema 10. So how much hapa alipata kama bonus? So unachukua 0.2 times 50 times 10 hours, right? Getting 100 shillings, right? Let us look on the overtime. Overtime lazima ulipwe pesa mingi kuliko your normal rate. And ukiangalia pale note number 3, the examiner is telling you overtime is paid at 1.5. Hii ni ile mahesabu nilifanya huko chini, 1.5. This translates to 3/2. 3/2 times the normal rate. Normal rate yake ni ngapi? 50 times 5 shillings. Not 5, but 5 hours. So hapa alipata pesa ngapi? Wengine hawapendi kutumia hii. Right? Wengine hawapendi. Because this times this plus 1, you get 3/2. Now in this case, we take 3 divided by 2 times 50 times 5. Getting 375. Right? What is the total pay of Mary Masumbi? Total pay. Total pay and Mary Masumbi. 375 plus 100 plus 2250. Getting 2725 Kenya shillings. 2725. That is how you're supposed to be doing the question. I know that you are able to understand it. There is another question for the same. I just want to shift our gears to August 2022, question 1C. August 2022, question 5, question 1C, sorry. August 2022, question 1C. So let us go there. For the new students, I like to get back my assignments. Some of you have not honored that. I'm expecting to get back my assignments. Nimepeana assignment mingi sana, but I have not seen some from some of you. We are talking about August. So I just went to August hapo tuangalie how exam was. Now, ukiangalia, we are doing a lot of questions with our determination for everyone to pass exam. Someone to read, please. Grace, read for us this question.
Turquoise Limited manufactures men's suits for local market. Jobs are allocated to 2 operators, Njogu and Mabili, with bonus paid for hours saved. In the month of July 2022, Njogu made 100 units while Mabili made 105 units, for which the time allowed of 60 standard minutes and 50 standard minutes per unit respectively was credited. Additional information. The basic wage rate was 360 shillings per hour for both employees. For every hour saved, a bonus was paid at the rate of 25% of the basic wage rate. Hours worked in excess were paid at the basic wage rate plus 2/3. Njogu completed his job in 88 hours, while Mabili completed his job in 78 hours. A basic working week was 80 hours. Required. For each operator, determine amount of bonus payable, the total gross wage payable, and wage cost per unit.
Thank you so much. You can see the same question is just familiar with what we have done, but also this now includes all 2 employees. So the analysis will be the same. So let us go to my board and be able to show you how to calculate all of this. Let us go to our board and we see what we can work or what is required. So in this case, the examiner is discussing about doing the same work which I have shown you. So calculate the hours allowed, hours taken, compare with the hours saved. Then let us look on overtime. Let us look on overtime. So here we are being told we have 2 employees, right? We have 2 employees. So the first employee is, right? The first employee is called Jogu. Whereas the second one is called Mabeli. Let me write N and M. Right? N and M. Now, when you look on N, is required to work for 60 because we have been told the time allowed of 60 standard minutes, whereas the other one is 50 standard minutes per unit respectively. So in this case, if I want to convert it, it will be 60 over 60, getting 1 hour. And then this one will take 50 over 60, getting how much? Because we said our analysis should be based on hours. So 50 divided by 60, getting 0.833 mingi. So let me just multiply directly with the number of units which he was able to produce. And when you look on Mambili, was able to make 105 units. Then the time, the hours allowed will be 87.5 hours. Right? Because this you have multiplied by 105 units. Then after you take 1 hour, you multiply by the number of units which he was able to make, 100, getting 100 hours. Right? Now, when you go to the time taken, we are being given a note number 4. Jogu completed his job in 88 hours, while Mabili completed in 78 hours. Umepewa pale, then you copy here directly. 88 hours, right? Whereas the other guy was able to do it for 78 hours. Hours saved. When you look on the hours saved, we said, take your time taken, look on the number of hours in a week. A basic working week has 80. So you take 88 minus 80, getting how many hours? He was able to save 8. Is it like that? No, for that. So the hours saved, we take 100 minus 88. 100 minus 88, getting 12. Whereas now the other one will be 87.5 minus 78, getting 9.5 hours. What about the overtime now? The overtime, right? We are discussing about overtime now. So the overtime, I compare the hours taken with the basic hours in a week. So it will be 88 minus the 80. Here we are getting 8 hours. We are getting 8 hours there, right? But you Anna, overtime. The week iko 80 alifanya 78. Yeah, Anna. Good. So let us start by looking at the basic pay. Hii swali unafanyanga hata bila kujua ama bila kuangalia hizo requirements. Unapatanga ushajibu zote. We start with N and M. Each amelipwa pesa ngapi? N amelipwa the basic wage rate was 360 per hour for both employees. So it will be 360 and also pia analipwa 360. We multiply by. Pale nimeona wamekupea nini? Examiner has already given us a basic week as 80 hours. 80 hours. So it will be 360 times 80. Getting 28,800 Kenya shillings. Kenya shillings there. 28,800. Let us go to bonuses. Bonuses we calculate based on the time saved. Based on the time saved. So to angalia information in regards to the time saved, we have been told in note number 2, for every hour saved, a bonus was paid at the rate of 25% of the basic wage rates. So when you look on the time saved is given here, you are being told, take your N and M, sorry. So it will be 20%. The current, we are being paying them 360. Times and save how many hours? 12. Nitapata yake hapo. 20% times 360. Times alisave ngapi? 9.5. Tupate pale now 0.2 times 360 times 12, getting 864. The other one will be 20% times 360 times 9.5, getting 684. Getting 684. The other one will be, we are looking on the, sorry, it should be 25, not 20. Nobody was able to correct that. It should be 25%. Let me correct it. 0.25 times 360 times 12. We are getting 1080. Sorry for that. 1080. The other one will be 0.25 times 360 times 9.5, getting 855. Let us go to overtime. Na ule mtu wako na overtime ni mmoja, right? Ni N peke yake. So N will be able to get it by looking on the additional information number 3, not 3, yes. Hours worked in excess were paid at the rate, basic wage rate plus 2/3. So ni kama tulichukue 1 and 2/3, getting 5/2. Ama watu wengine wanapenda kufanya hivi. Anachukua 360, ana add 360 times 2/3. You are getting the same thing, right? You are getting the same thing. Kuna wale wanapenda kufanya namna hiyo. Haya, in this case, wacha nifanye hii naonanga ndio short. Times 360, alisave how many hours? 8. So hapa alipata how much? So 5 divided by 2, 5 divided by 3. 5 divided by 3. 5 divided by 3. So it will be 5 divided by 3. We multiply by 360. You multiply by 8. getting 4,800 shillings. Ndio. The other one tumeambiwa ni ngapi? 360 times 2/3 plus 360 times 8, getting 4,800. So it is the same thing. You are not supposed. This one is shorter, right? This one. Now let us look on the total pay. Total pay for both. So we are dealing with two employees, N and M. So for N, unachukua the basic pay 28,800. Hapo unachukua pia 28,800. Plus bonuses 1080. The other one is 855. Plus, right? Huyo ako na 4,800 hapo kama overtime huyo ana. So total leo ni ngapi? Total pay. So let me start with the first one, 28,800 plus 1080 plus 4,800. Getting 34,680, 34,680. The other one will be 28,800 plus 855, right? Getting 29,655. 29,655. Another Mary is coming in. 29,655. Now, when you look at that question already, we have answered a lot of requirements there. We have answered a lot of requirements. Now, in this case, examiner was asking you amount of bonus payable. We shall calculate bonuses. So already we shall pattern the total gross wage payable to find you here. Then number 3, you are being told the wage cost per unit. Number 3. Wage cost per unit. Wage cost per unit. To calculate the wage cost per unit, unachukuanga the total pay, you divide by the number of units. So in this case, hapa tuko na N, tuko na M, right? So in this case, the rate ya kwanza, the total pay ya mtu wa kwanza ni 34,680. You divide by the number of units. Yaani tengeneza ngapi? Wa kwanza alitengeneza 100. So Kenya shillings, hapo unapata ngapi? 34.68. Now, wakati uko na spoiled goods, for instance, wakati uko na spoiled units, unakujanga unachukua 100 minus the spoiled. So that is why the examiner might be asking you the wage cost per unit for the good units, right? And that is why you take 100 minus the spoiled one, unapata the wage cost, ama the labor cost for the good units. The other one will be 29,655. You divide by 29,655. You divide by the number of units due, and itengeneza ngapi? 105. So how much it is? So 29,655, you divide by 105. Getting 282. 282, right? 282.43. 282.43. The first one is wrong, and it should be 346. Sorry, 346.80. Very good. 346. In the divided by 1,000. And it should be 346.48. The second one will be 282.43. 282.43. That is how it is supposed to be. Now, any question? Any question? Any question? Maria, are you okay? Mary, are you okay?
Yes, kinda.
Hello, hello. Now, I want to look on the group bonus scheme in the last thing that we are doing today. We are being told these are schemes developed by the employers to reward their employees as a group. This normally happens where the work done is to affect a number of employees in a given section. Although in the long run, each individual employee will benefit from the group. In this system, the bonus for the whole group is determined later on this it is determined later on distributed and later and distributed to individual employee based on the time taken. So the advantages are given there. It is always encourage cooperation. It enables employees to produce quality items, and it reduces the number of rejections. The disadvantages I have given you there. And also I have given you the factors to consider when deciding a group income, group incentive, sorry. So not to waste a lot of time, there is a question that I just want us to check on, which was brought for that route or that subtopic. There is a question in December 2021. There is a question in December 2021 for that regard. December 2021. So let us go there and Mary will be able to read for us. December 2021. So that nipeane assignment, I will be able to give you an assignment. So let me see here. December. The question is here. Question 1C, 1B. Go on, Mary.
Usenge Products Limited manufacturers and retails products A, B, and C. The company has 120 workers who work under a group bonus scheme. The workers are categorized into 3 grades and are paid a bonus of the excess of time allowed over time taken. The bonus paid is 80% of the workers' basic rate and is shared by the workers in the proportion of time spent on the job. The following production data has been extracted from the company's records for the month of November 2021. Product, unit produced, unit allowed per unit. Then there is grade of workers, a number of direct workers, basic rate hour per hour, hours worked per worker. Then you're required to find the percentage of hours saved to hours taken, bonus due to the group, then the gross earnings due to the group.
Thank you so much. You can see we are being given a question here, which is a group bonus schemes. And we are being told that the company has just 120 employees and they are going to be dealing with group bonus schemes. So the workers are categorized into 3 given there. We have the grade of workers. We are being given the number of direct workers, basic rate per hour, hours worked per hour. We are being given the product units produced in the time allowed per unit. The bonus are going to be paid at 80% of the workers' base rate and is shared by the workers in the proportion of the time spent on the job. So how am I supposed to be working on this? This is what you are going to be doing, right? This is what you are supposed to be doing when you are handling these questions. So in the aspect of what you're supposed to be doing, right? Let us factor 2 things here. Not 2 things, but the format that you're going to be using. We start with the products. We have to factor our product first. Then look on the units produced. Units produced. How many units are we producing there? Then also consider your time allowed per unit. Time allowed per unit. Right? Then the last thing that we have to be taking into consideration, the time allowed in hours. Time allowed in hours. Time allowed in hours. It should be looking like that. Time allowed in hours. Time allowed in hours. So when you look on the question, we have only 3 products. We have product A, we have B, we have C. We have 3 products there. The units which are produced, examiner amekupea vizuri, we have 640, 1280, right? 640. We have 1280, and then we have 2400. We have 2400, right? Then we are given the time allowed per unit. I'm just copying what I can see examiner giving out there. We have 63. 63. We are also given 120 and 100. 120 and 100. So how am I going to be calculating the time allowed? Remember, you have your unit, you have the time allowed. Nothing is going to be changing. We just do the way we were doing the other one. You ask yourself, if 1 unit requires how many? Right? 1 unit is able, or 1 unit requires 63 minutes. 1 unit requires 63 minutes. What about the total of 640? How much is this? Right? 640. So how much is this? You just take 640 to get the total minutes, 640 times 63, right? And here we are supposed to be talking of, we are getting 40. What am I doing? Yeah, but the space will be minimum. So in this case, what I'm getting here is the total of 40, 320 minutes. I divide this by 60 minutes to get hours. That and that goes. So divide by 60. I'm going to be getting 672 hours. Let us do the second one for B. Then for B, it will be looking like what? For B, it will be 1 unit requires 120. 120 minutes. Calculate the total of minutes first. What about 1280 units? And we are going to be having 1280 times 120 minutes converted to hours, divided by 60. So 1280 times 120 divided by 60. Ndio kuna mwanafunzi anaanza kutafuta hii inatoka wapi 60. Hiyo 60 ni convert to hours. 1280 times 120 divided by 60, getting 2560 hours. The last one will be 1 unit requires how many? Requires 100 minutes. What about 2400 units? And you're going to be having 2400 times 100 divided by 60. How much am I getting? 2400 times 100 divided by 50. We are getting 4,000 hours. 4,000 hours, right? Already you have known how to calculate the time allowed in hours for group bonus schemes. So calculate your total time allowed. The total time allowed nitachukua 672 plus 2560 plus 4,000. How many hours are these in total? So 4,000 plus 2560 plus 672. Getting 32 hours. Getting 32 hours. From there, I just want to calculate the total time taken. The total time taken. The total time taken. Stroke time worked. The time worked. So in this case, we are going to be factoring the categories of employees. The categories of employees. We have 3 categories, 1, 2, and 3. We have only 3 categories. Then we look on the number of direct workers. Direct workers. We're going to be looking on that number there. Then after looking the number of direct workers, we also factor the hours worked per worker. Hours worked per worker. so that at the end of the day, I will be able to get the time taken. The time taken there. So the number of the workers given in the question, we are being given 40, 16, 64. Right? This one we are going to be multiplying by the hours worked per worker. Now, the basic rate per hour, no, hours worked per worker, 3064. And then we have 50. So how much are we getting here? Very simple, 1200 hours. The other one will be 16 times 64, getting 1024 hours. Then the last one will be 64 times 50, getting that 200. What is the total here? The total will be 1200 plus 1024 plus that 200, getting 5424 hours. 5424 hours. Now, after you get this, let us answer the first requirement. The first requirement, the examiner is asking you to calculate the percentage of hours saved to hours taken. Of hours saved to hours taken, right? Very simple. How? I'm going to be taking time allowed minus time taken. Hivi tu ndio tumekuwa tukifanya the other questions. So time allowed minus the time taken. So the time allowed of hours, to may allow 7232. 7232 hours minus the time taken, which is 5424 hours. So what is the difference? 7232 minus 5424, getting 1808. To get the percentage, right, we are going to be converting it by dividing by the time taken. Divide by 5424. Then you multiply by 100%. Right? Divide by 5424 times 100%, getting 33.33%. 33.33%. 33.33%. Number two, the examiner is asking us to calculate the bonus due to the group. The bonus due to the group. The bonus due to the group. So the bonus due to the group, that is what we are supposed to be looking at it here. So the bonus due to the group, right? Now, in this case, what am I supposed to be looking at? I'm going to be looking on the categories of employees. We look on the categories of the workers there. Then we'll look on the rate per hour. Rate per hour. We also look on the time taken. Time taken, which we have already calculated. Time taken. And then we are going to be calculating our bonus pay. We calculate our bonus pay there. So the categories, we still have 3. What is the rate per hour? As per the question, the rate per hour we are given 300 to 70 to 40. 240. Time taken, we calculated the time taken here. So the time taken for the first one will be 1200. We have 1024. Then we have 3200. What about the bonus pay? Tumeambiwa watalipa 80% of the basic hour rate, which is 300. We multiply by, there is reapportionment of this, right? There is reapportionment. So we want to get the proportion for category A. Examiner mekupea, already you have already calculated 1200, 1200 of these. Because we have to be reapportioning our time allowed, which we were able to get around 7232, right? So in this case, we just say 1,200, not the based of the bonuses are normally paid based, sorry for that. The bonuses are normally paid based on the time saved. Our time saved is 1808. So it will be, let us get the proportion first. The first one will be 1,200 divided by 5424. Then we multiply by 1808. That is the time which was saved. The time saved of ours is 18, right? 1808. 1808. So how much am I getting here? So in this case, we say 1,200 divided by 5424, right? Times 1808. Getting 400 here, right? Times 300 times 0.8. Getting in 6,000 Kenya shillings. We are getting in 6,000 there. We are getting 96,000 there. From there, let us do the second one. The second one will be 1024, 80%. We multiply by 270 times 1024 divide by 5424. Then we multiply by 1808. 1808. So it will be 1024 divided by 5424 times 1808. Right? Then we multiply by 270 times 0.8. Getting 73,728. The third one will be 80% times 240 times 10, not 1024, sorry, 3,200 divided by 5424 times 1808. Hapa pia utapata ngapi? 3,200 divided by 5424 times 1808 times 240 times 0.8. Getting 204, 800, 800. That is how you have to be calculating your bonus schemes. And how you calculate them. The bonus schemes, you calculate them like that. Then let us look on the last thing which the examiner is asking there. The gross earnings due to the group. The gross earnings, number 3. To the group. So we still have our categories. Our categories here remain. Then we have rates per hour. Right? We have the rates per hour. Then also we have the time taken. We have our time taken there. Then the last thing that we have is the bonus pay. Bonus pay here. Ndio tuweze kupata nini? The gross earnings. The category of employees that we have 1, 2, and 3. The rates per hour given, tulikuwa na 300, 270, and then we have 240. You multiply this by the time taken, we have 1,200. We have 1,200, 1024, that's 200. Then we had our bonus pay. The first one was 96,000. The second one is 73,728. And then the third one is 204,800. 204,800. How much are we getting here? How much am I getting there? Right? How much am I getting there? How much am I getting there? How much am I getting there? Someone to respond? How much? Nobody?
For 56,000.
456,000. That is the which one?
The first one.
First category.
No. $3,300, sorry. Let me see whether you have gotten it. Times 1,200 plus 96,000. It might be 456, correct? Thank you. The second one? Anyone who has calculated the second one?
350 to 8.
350 to 08, thank you. The third one?
972
972,
800.
800.
Thank you. 972, 800. Any question? Any question? That is how you normally tackle the questions of labor remuneration. Whether it is a group bonus scheme I have given you, if it is the other one for the single employees, I have shown you how to do it. So let me give out an assignment here. Our assignment of the day. There is a question on the test December 2022, question number 1C. December 2022, question, is it December? It should be December, yes. It should be December. Let me check whether it is. The question should be 3B, sorry. 3B. Then we also have another question for August 2022, right? August 2022, we have a question there. A question for, I think that one I have done it. For August in the fine. So just do for me December only. Do me December 2022 question 3C. December 2022 question 3C. And I'm expecting to see these later today. Later today, yes. Wewe unajua mnaenda kanisa, tuko Januari, tumesota, hakuna stories are out. So I'm expecting that to pambana hii swali. We repeat the video. I'll be able to upload it just now so that you can be able to revise and do 2022 assignments. So if we don't have any question, let me end our business to that point today and wish you a good day, right? Blessed Sunday. And then also our fruitful day there. Then see you tomorrow evening where we are going to be handling overheads. Tomorrow you shall be able to do overheads and we shall push them because we cannot finish them tomorrow. We push them to make sure on Sunday we finish them. Then we engage ourselves to another subtopic which I will be able to work on activity-based costing. Activity-based costing. Good day and bye-bye.